A rude woman calls the cops on a little girl selling water. This is how the tables turned. Water is the most vital and refreshing drink in the world. It is also probably the cheapest. People choose water over anything because it quenches thirst and barely costs anything at all. It is the perfect drink to keep yourself cool on a hot sunny day. Imagine treating yourself to a nice cold bottle of water on a scorching day. It feels heavenly. On one such hot day, a sweet little girl was selling water down a street. A few people smiled down at her and even bought water from her. But not everyone is friendly and kind in this world. Jordan Rogers was just an 8-year-old girl from San Francisco with big dreams. She was not an ordinary kid. The girl always had some unique plans which she tried out. She was selling water bottles outside AT&T Park. Soon, she would learn the bitter reality of life coming her way. It was the June of 2018, and there was a massive heat wave in the entire area. Residents had to resort to every measure to keep themselves cool. Of course, the cheapest measure was to take a sip of cold water whenever they ventured outside. And that's how Jordan came up with the idea of selling bottled water. Just like other kids her age, Jordan wanted to go to Disneyland. But her parents weren't sure if they could afford it. So, Jordan took to this idea to raise money for her visit to Disneyland. She set up a water stand outside the park, and her little brother also joined in to help. Her mother kept a check on her to ensure everything was under control. Everyone was very impressed with Jordan's unique idea. The first couple of hours turned out to be extraordinary for Jordan's business. Many pedestrians stopped by to purchase the refreshing water from her. Jordan thought she couldn't have been happier. After many successful sales, one stranger who was walking by stopped at her water stand. The woman was acting strange and had a frown on her face. It looked like she wasn't interested in buying water from Jordan at all. She had a phone in her hand and shook her head disapprovingly at Jordan. She shouted that she was trying to work across the street, but Jordan was being too noisy. Then, the woman went on to say that the 8-year-old girl was breaking the law. Onlookers were surprised at the woman's demeanor towards the little kid. She then alleged that Jordan was selling water without a permit. Jordan didn't quite know how to respond. But she didn't pack up and leave. The woman started shouting, and the situation was getting out of control. Then, to everyone's dismay, she took her phone and dialed 911. That's when Jordan's mother, Erin, decided to intervene. She began filming the whole situation as she tried to defend her daughter. Then, the woman seemed to talk over the phone with the cops. When she noticed she was being filmed, she hid behind a wall. Erin recorded the woman's erratic behavior. Then, she posted the video online, and soon, it went viral. The woman's name was Allison Ettle. After Allison received backlash, she stepped forward to explain herself. The internet dubbed her as Permit Patty. Eventually, Allison apologized to Jordan for her behavior. Then, she claimed that she had only pretended to call the cops to persuade the child to leave. But the police records turned the tables on her. It was revealed that they had the full transcript of her conversation. Allison had indeed called the cops on an 8-year-old and demanded immediate action. Then, something more about Allison came to light. Allison was the CEO of a California-based company called Treatwell Health. The company itself had a gray background of selling Peyton-relieving products. After this incident, many businesses cut ties with the company to show support to Jordan. Soon, Allison resigned as the CEO and vanished into the void. A few of Jordan's neighbors came together to support her fundraising efforts. They helped her set up a concession stand, all the proceeds of which would go towards her education. Unbeknownst to Jordan, there was one more surprise in store for her. Learning about her story on social media, musician Jonathan Brannon decided to cheer the girl up. In a heartwarming decision, he paid for her and 3 of her family members to go on a trip to Disneyland. Jordan's summer dream was finally going to come true. As her mother had lost her job recently, this help from kind-hearted people came as a blessing for little Jordan and her brother. Her education was also now safely secured. Despite experiencing a bitter taste of life, Jordan also learned something else. Most people in the world appreciate you and will stand up for what's right when the time demands.